you really got the sense that we've got a three-person race at this point between Perry and Bachmann fighting it out on the right, waiting to be the anti-Romney.
You know, Karen, there's some talk now that there's going to be kind of a two-stage race. First of all, Bachmann and Perry facing off to see who's going to be the champion of the Tea Party and the Social Conservatives, and then the winner of that is the anti-Romney going up against the frontrunners. It's silly to even talk about that at this point.
Not at all. And I think what's interesting is that the Republican primary process now looks a lot like what we're accustomed to seeing out of the Democrats. They usually have sort of an establishment candidate and a challenger. And it's also likely to last a lot longer with three frontrunners who are this strong than we have seen in the past.
I'm going to ask you not one, but two questions, Charles. First of all, what do you make of the weekend's developments? And I want to ask you what I asked Carl Cameron earlier. I have gotten a ton of email today from people saying, look, Ron Paul finished 152 votes behind Michelle Bachmann of the Ames straw poll, basically a dead heat. Why aren't we giving him his due?
Well, let me start with the second question because it's easier to remember. It was the latest one. Ron Paul is not going to be president of the United States. Libertarian is not going to be elected. We are not a libertarian country. It's a very important strain of conservative thought, but it's not the dominant one. If you look at the polls, this was a straw poll, which is self-selected. It measures enthusiasm, but it doesn't measure the breadth of support. It measures the depth. If you do a poll, his numbers are usually in single digits. So that's why people aren't speaking about him. The next president of the United States is going to have the name Bachmann or Perry or Romney or Obama. And that's probably it unless somebody enters the field.
Before you answer the first question I asked you, I
can't remember
Well,
anymore,
I'm going to say it. I just want to say all of you who are sending me emails over the last 24 hours. Now, that was a profile of courage. Yes, another you've never complained about many questions. Well, so here it is. What do you make of the weekend?
Is this another one of your gotcha Mickey Mouse questions?
I knew you were going to do that.
I couldn't resist. Newt set me up for that one. The weekend,
me too.
I think it is. It's always winnowing. And I think it gave us the three candidates who I think for weeks it was clear we were going to get. We were always going to have a Romney. We were always going to have a Perry who was making noises on the outside, and it was going to be whoever came out of Iowa, out of the straw poll, with a clear victory. Looked like Bachmann in the end. It was, and that's what it is, a three-person race.